True Morning Live. Now, South Africa's premier orchestra, known as the KwaZulu-Natal Philharmonic Orchestra and the UNISA Music Foundation, have agreed to form a partnership spanning the next 3 years. Now, the partnership will include the orchestra accompanying UNISA's national and international music competitions, as well as mutually beneficial commitments to fostering music education and development in South Africa. Here with us live in studio to talk more about this partnership is Marketing Director at the KwaZulu-Natal Philharmonic Orchestra, Sue Murray. Sue, good morning. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Sam. Thank you for having me.
Talk to me about this agreement and how it came about and what it actually means for the music industry.
The KwaZulu-Natal Philharmonic Orchestra has just celebrated its 30th birthday.
Yeah.
And we're obviously known for all of our performances of wonderful symphony concerts and tours. But key to our existence is taking music out to the broader public. And we do a lot of education work in the schools in KwaZulu-Natal. But what we really want to assist with is bringing talented youngsters through into the pipelines that ultimately they can become the professional musicians in our orchestra. So UNISA, I think since the 1980s, has run their music competition, international and national competitions, and the finals are held here in Pretoria, and there has to be an accompanying orchestra, obviously for the final nights, which were last night and the night before. And we've entered into a partnership to be that orchestra, but on a much broader basis, not just to be there for the finals and say, aren't these wonderful young soloists, and they've done so beautifully, but to say we want to take them the next step, which means that we will invite those, the 6 finalists or the winners, to come to Durban and be a soloist with the KZN Philharmonic Orchestra. We also will add to that by, when we're on tour up here, bringing our key musicians in to mentor and tutor the youngsters in the UNISA Youth Orchestra. So various ways like that where we can improve their standards and give them a platform from which to perform as well.
In terms of this partnership, is this the first of this nature kind of partnerships for KZN?
It is with UNISA, yes, but we're looking at a couple of other things this year as well. We're in the process of developing an agreement with the South African National Youth Orchestra, which is a national group that gets together once a year for a couple of weeks. Again, the same thing, a mentoring role, creating opportunities for those talented youngsters to perform with the orchestras. And we also have a national cadetship program at the KZN Philharmonic, where we have 10 to 12 youngsters who come and spend a few years with us. They play in the orchestra, we give them as many performance opportunities as possible, and they go through the qualifications of reaching a professional level, hopefully auditioning for us and getting a permanent position in the orchestra. So we'll be looking at the same thing with SANYO, the South African National Youth Orchestra. And we've also engaged in a partnership with the Durban Music School, where, yet again, saying, here these youngsters coming through, let's create an opportunity for them, and have talent from South Africa filling all these positions.
Which is, of course, is very important. Let's quickly go back to that cadet program. I mean, just talk to me about the status and how it's faring at the moment.
As I said, it's youngsters who are coming out of the music schools, the universities. We will give them a position in the orchestra where, as I say, they'll play at as many performances as we can.
But in terms of just the actual program, has it gone from strength to strength,
yes,
and just
definitely.
a kind of pool that you have access to now?
Yeah, and our musicians then teach those youngsters, so that they're getting hands-on practical and theoretical experience. But to date, there are about 30 of our cadets who are professional musicians, not just in South Africa, but around the world, which is real proof of what we're trying to achieve.
Let's quickly touch on the 2014 summer concert season. What can we look forward to?
Sam, it's a lovely mixture. We obviously have some of the traditional composers, your Mozart, Haydn, Tchaikovsky, but we also try and bring in a couple of highlights that are different. We, for the first time, will be having a sitarist as our solo instrument. Pradak,
Wow.
no, it's a wonderful instrument and not usually used in Western style music. So he'll be having the African premiere of his work. He's composed it and he'll be performing it with us. And we also have a couple of South African soloists on the program, which is always a highlight for our local audiences.
If you want to find out more of the upcoming season, where can you go?
Our website, which is www.kznphil.org.za.
As simple as that. Sue
Yeah,
Murray,
yeah.
thank you very much for joining us and coming to shed some light on this partnership. That was Marketing Director at the KwaZulu-Natal Philharmonic Orchestra, Sue Murray, speaking to us about the KZN Philharmonic Orchestra partnership with the UNISA Music Foundation. Loads more still coming up here on the program. Let's go to Phil, who is standing by.